I am coming to you from Fort Myers, Florida, and today is Tuesday. I have to look at my Fitbit. September 16th. Yep, Tuesday, September 16th at 2025. So come on in, have a seat. We'll get started in about 5 minutes. So let me go ahead and get the chat opened. So give me just a moment, if you don't mind. I've got to get some of this stuff out of my way, and we will get moving right along. So come on in. I am streaming on Facebook as well as YouTube. So come on in and make yourself comfortable and have a seat. We'll get started in just a few minutes. All right, give me a minute. Let me get this. Let's see here if I can get my cursor to work. Hang on. Where am I? Oh, my Lord. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, what is it? Hang on. I'm still trying to figure out how to work the, there we go. Oh, I got to hit my arrow to go forward. When you're trying to do the chat thing to open up, it's a little crazy. Okay. All right, we're almost done. Let me type a couple more things. All right. All right, we're going to leave it at that. Let's enter that. Hi, Linda. How are you? Your card was gorgeous that you sent. I love that. Okay. All right, we're going to get started here in a few minutes. We are going to do some spooktacular cards. I thought I'd do 2 Halloween cards. I made these a couple weeks ago. I think I told you all, and I figured, why not tonight? I was running. I had to take the fur baby out for her walk and got back, and I had like 20 minutes to get myself organized. Thank goodness I had everything set up. So I just had to turn everything on, get the lights set up. Hopefully I've got some brighter light in here. So we'll see, but we're going to do some Halloween cards. They're going to be, I'm using stuff that is retired. We're using some punches, but I just want to show that, not that we don't love buying stamps, and we'll go over that here once we get started, but we still, like most of us have a stash of stamps that we need to be using, right? So that's what I'm going to do this evening. Some of these are like, when I started almost 15 years ago, some of them are probably back in those days. But it's okay. They're going to do the job. Okay. So let me get onto my page here. I was in here and then let's see if, yep, showing us live. Let me see. Yep, there's my face. Okay, we're good to go. Let me turn the volume down. All right. So, all right, let's see. What time is it? 7:01. All right, we're going to start in about 4 minutes, and then I'll go probably in about 2 to 3 minutes. Probably in 2 minutes, I'll go through and give my updates on things that's taking place within Stampin' Up and myself. So we'll see how that goes. And I don't know if I don't normally send out Halloween. I don't send out Halloween cards. I like to make them, but I think where we live now, not to say that there isn't people here that have grandchildren that they want to send their, kids, grandkids, Halloween card. But where we live, I think the grandchildren are now of the, a lot of them are in their late teens, 20s, you know, depending on how old the couple is, you know, the mom and dad, the grandparents. So their parents are probably in their, you know, 30s or whatever. So anyways, so I don't know if they send that many Halloween cards. So I haven't really done that and offered it in any of my card class I do once a month. So it's okay. Forgot it was Tuesday. Oh my gosh, girl. I always know when it's Tuesday. And I am a morning person. I get up early and, well, earlier now with this dog than I'd prefer, but that's okay. I usually get up around 6:15. Was 6:15. Now with the dog, it's anywhere from 5:45 until 6, and that's enough to drive you crazy. But I start having a tired attack around 3:15, and I normally would work till 4, working on whatever I'm doing. But the last couple of days, I've had to cut it off at 3:15, 3:30 because I am just like, I got to sit down. I feel like I could take a nap. So, anyways, but we're going to do Halloween cards tonight. So, a couple of things. I'm going to go ahead and do my announcement. Now, I don't think, because I've already got everything pre-cut again, I don't think it's going to take an hour. Depends on how much I want to talk. You know how that goes. But I have everything pretty much put together. So we'll see. But I don't think it's going to take an hour. So I won't hold you up too long tonight. But a couple of things on the news front. Let's see. What's the first one? Oh, I know. If you're not on my newsletter, I would highly encourage you to do so. I'm going to do, and I don't think I did it last year. I'm not sure what I was thinking, to be honest with you. But every Christmas or every, you know, holiday, Christmas, I do 12 weeks of Christmas, and I send out every week a separate email that's strictly just with a tutorial and how to make a certain Christmas card. I usually do the first 4 weeks are cards. Then I do the second 4 weeks will be like fun folds, things like that. And then, I'm not sure, if it's going to be packaging. Some I'll do packaging, gift card holders, boxes, bags, all that stuff will be all in one. And then I'll do various fun folds. So you'll get a variety. And so I look back at my email and I don't recall sending that to you guys last year. So I started working on my Christmas cards for that. Plus I've got a holiday bazaar we're doing in November that I'm going to participate in. So I figured I better get started now so I have enough stuff for that. And then I'll have stuff for doing classes. So I'll use some of this as well. But the Christmas, 12 weeks of Christmas is only going to be given to my newsletter subscribers. It's not going to be posted anywhere else. So I will not do that because that's just something I want to offer that's going to be different than the norm. So you'll continue to get the Tuesday email, and then I'll send that one out on Wednesday. So it's probably going to start the first or second week of October. I'll have to look at the calendar. I'm trying to get it mapped out now and get my cards made. So, and then today, Stampin' Up has announced that they are having a stamp and tool sale Thursday this week, the 18th. So 15% off any stamps or tools. Now, I'm not quite sure what they consider a tool. I know it's probably going to be, you know, like our grid paper. I would think, you know, like masking paper. I don't know. They really didn't give us a lot of details. Now bundles do not qualify. It's single stamps. So I'll try to find out more information tomorrow on what is considered a tool. See, to me, like a blender pen is a tool. Now, whether they're going to allow that and give us 15% off, I don't know. So I need to verify that. I don't know what bone folders is a tool. I think that would qualify. I don't know. Those are just my interpretations. They just said stamps and tools. So what's a tool, right? Your thing to clean your stamp pads. I know the misty part is probably one, the cleaner for the stamp pads, obviously. So I don't know. I'll find out more tomorrow. If you happen to have heard something, shoot me a message and let me know. I'd greatly appreciate it. But otherwise, I went on the site this morning and tried to research and I couldn't find anything. But I know they had in one of our internal Facebook pages, they had some of the leadership team on there. And so they might have mentioned it. So I'll go back and look at that tomorrow morning. So anyways, all right. Do you know the time conversion on card making day? Know the time? Oh, on World Card Making Day? I will find out. And how about if I post it to our to my page tomorrow? Would that work? Or I can message you either way. I know I can find it on the computer, but since I'm logged in, I'd rather not do that. So I'll let you know tomorrow because that's October. Is it the 5th? I think 4th or the 5th. I can't. Whatever the first Saturday that Saturday is. I think it's the 5th. But I'll find out for you, Karen, and I'll post it on the page, and I'll also message you so make sure that you see it. Okay. All right. So welcome, everybody. And then the last thing, I thought I would do something a little bit different. Before you sign off, before we get done and close this down this evening, what I would like to do is do a poll. Well, not a poll, but before you leave me a comment on which card, one or two. The first one would be the first one, two would be the second one that you liked better. If you liked them both, then you can just put both. I'm just trying to get, I'm doing this really for two reasons. One, to get your feedback, and two, it will kind of help the algorithm with more responses. I know, isn't that terrible? But I really do want your comments because it will help me on if it's a fun fold that you like, then I'll know I need to start doing more of those, or if it's a simple card. But I'm trying to do a little bit of everything for everybody, you know, and I think the majority of the people that watch me are in their 50s, late 40s, 50s, and older. And they're most likely, they're not new to stamping. So they're somewhat know what they're doing. Most of them probably do. And I do know by looking at some analytics that people really like when we do one sheet wonders and sketches, because those seem to get more views than some of the others. So anyways, so if you would just make a comment before you go, if you liked card one or card two, or if you liked neither, that's fine. No problem. It's not going to hurt my feelings. All right. So let's get started. Now, I mentioned before that I don't normally buy a lot of Halloween stamps because I don't send out Halloween cards. And I do have some in my stash from when I started 15 years ago, or almost 15 years ago. So we're going to be doing that. I've pulled out some stuff from the archives, not the first card, but the second card. I did pull out some stamps. This card, I did pull out a couple of punches. I did punch, and I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down so that you can see what we're going to make. And I am using a current, oh, no, I'm not. The stamp set I bought this past year, and it's already retired. So let me turn the camera down. Give me a minute to get it positioned. And hang on a minute. You're going to see my card. Ooh, there it is. Let me flip the camera. Okay, there we go. I want to make sure that we've got some good lighting. Hang on. I'm trying to do this. Bear with me. I need to come down. I'm really debating if I want to go back to that other software or just figure out how to work this to the best of my ability. And this is a document camera that I'm using, which teachers use during COVID. And it works fine. I'm trying to get my lighting, and that's the thing that's driving me crazy. I think I need to have a light behind me. So I might have to pull out my umbrella light and stick it behind me, because I think that's part of why it's so dark. So anyways, I will work on that. That's down. I think I moved it to the garage. I'll have to go find it. Okay, so this stamp set is one that I bought this past year because I like the big, this is the size of the letters. Trick or Treat, Spooky Fun, Wickedly, I don't know where you use that, Good Times, and then October 31st. And I like this only because my best friend that's coming to visit, her birthday is October 31st. So there you go. And these are photopolymer. And we're going to use the Spooky Fun on this particular card. So let me show you what I made. Okay, everything on here, well, not the card stock, but this paper, a friend of mine, I was helping her, and I might have mentioned this to you. I was helping her trying to clean out her, she's got so much craft paper and just paper that she's bought those books through everywhere and everybody. And so she gave me two Stampin' Up ones that I am going to put on my I'm sorry, on my Etsy store to sell, and I'll just pay her, give her the money. But when I opened it, she said, well, you can use them if you want. And I found this paper and I thought, well, this would be perfect for Halloween because it's kind of looks kind of, it's pink, but to me, it kind of gives it a purple effect with the black stripes. So I thought that was perfect. So I'm using a retired cat punch. And this is the witch's hat that came out years ago. And I still have that punch. I did have a bat punch, but I got rid of him. And I'm not sure why I did, but I did. But so by using these punches, I'm able to make some quick and easy cards. So this is what the card is that we're going to make this evening. It's a fun fold, but you're going to open it and it's a card within the card, right? So here's the inside. We're going to fold it, and then it can stand up, right? So it can stand up once I get this here, put it where y'all can see it. So it can stand up like that. So how cool is that, right? So it's a fun fold stand-up card. And then what I did, I wasn't thinking, I put the, I kept thinking this was one, not a fold-up card, right? So I stamped the back. I put the vanilla, very vanilla on the back, and I stamped it. This is one of the old stamps. Can you see it? And then I realized when I was folding, I went, oh, it's on the inside. So we're going to do that on the inside of the card. All right, so this is what we're going to make this evening, I tell you. And I made these a couple weeks ago. I think I mentioned that to y'all. Okay, so in here, and then we're going to do another one, another Halloween card too. But these are not scary, scary cards. Now, I did go ahead and punch the hat and my little stars that go with it. So just bear with me because I got to get these little pieces. Bear with me a second. So we have, and label and to punch the cat. Oops, there's Mother Star. So we have over there. And then we have, yeah, it's a 2 7/8 circle. So you can do that for your moon in the background, right? And then the paper, and I'll give you all the measurements here in just a moment. So let me set card base. Scored. Oh my good. I'm gonna my trimmer. Hold on, I forgot to bring it. Jeez. Shoot, Ski. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Show on stream. Oh, there we go. Sorry. And my apologies. Let's see. I think we're backwards. Are we not? Let me see. No, I think we're right. Yeah, we're right. I apologize for that. Okay, that's going to make me now want to go switch back because I cannot figure out why it's doing this. Is that okay? You maybe I did cut that. Did I do? What should I have done? Hang on a minute. I got this scored wrong. I thought it was 5.5. It's 5. Oh, 5.25. Okay, well, we're gonna change it up. We'll just do it. No one's gonna notice. Let's do it again. We'll just have a little extra score in there, but when we put the paper on, we shouldn't be able to see it. So I'm gonna move all this mess out of the way. Hang on. Let's move this out of the way. All right. Let's come back. We scored it at, what did I score it at? 2. We need to score this at, what did I say? Oh, at 5. This one has got to be at, what did I do this one at? Hang on. Well, we might be off just a little bit. Hang on a minute. This one is at 5.5. This really needs to be 5.25. All right, we're going to fix this. We're going to line this up to 5.25. Hopefully the paper will cover it, but we'll see. Let me move my blade out of the way. All right, let's do 5.25. Let's try that. 5.25. Oh, that's going to be fine. No one's going to notice the difference. Let me just push it up here. No one's going to know. We're going to cover that up with our paper, right? Okay. My screen keeps going blank, but y'all's is good. Okay. Goodness gracious me. Oh, now yours just went blank. All right. That must be okay. It's going blank. I'm letting you know now, and it's coming back. So y'all are on a little bit of delay from me. So at least I can find it before it hits you guys. Okay. So this is scored at 5.25 up here, and then 2.25 down at the bottom, right? So now we're going to add our paper, and we're going to cover up that little score right there. No one's going to know the difference. Why is I must have cut my paper short. I think I did. I cut it short. Look at that. Okay, well, we're just going to put it on here. I cut it short. So we're going to just put that guy. He's going to have more of a border around him than what I had anticipated initially. But that'll be fine. We're just going to leave it like that. No one's going to know the difference unless we tell them, right? Okay, so that was my mistake. I guess I should have verified I cut the paper right. Let me get my glue out of here. All right, we're not going to fight with that. I did bring a brand new one, so let's just open this up. It's Tuesday. You never know what's going to happen on Tuesdays. All right, got to have a sense of humor in this business, don't you? All right, that's what we're going to do. Okay, I think I'm going to put this closer to the top so it doesn't look too weird. And then I can always add a piece at the bottom. I can always add just a little piece there if I need to, so it doesn't look so short. But that's fine. It's no big deal. All right, and then we're going to add this piece down here. This one should be, so I'll give you the measurements of what it should be. It should be 3 3/4 by 9 and three. Piece, and you want to make sure, since this has got stripes, I had to make sure my stripes are going in the right direction. So we're going to glue this down here. All right, let me make sure. All right, we're good. I'm keeping my eyes on the camera to make sure that it doesn't go black. Okay. All right, so we're going to put that one right here. And we just have a bigger space here. So it'll be fine because you want it to stand up anyways. All right, so that's going to go there. And then this is going to fold. We're going to make sure we get our fold up there in the correct one, which is the lower of the two. There we go. So when we glue this down, it will be fine because they're not going to see it. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to take our moon and I forgot my blending brush. You can tell. This is going to be our moon. We're going to glue this down. But before we do that, and I did on this one, I sponged with crushed curry. I didn't bring my sponge. I'm not going to get up and go get it, but that's what I did, and that's going to be the difference. So this one's going to have a little bit of a shadowing in the background. This is just going to be the crushed curry, okay? So we're going to go ahead and make our star. So let's go ahead. I'm going to glue this down, and then we'll add our hat once we get that together. But this just gives you an idea. Pull it. So this is going to be our. Now I'm bringing in my witch now, and I've hat, and you can see, whoopsie, well, you can't see it on the black, but you can see there's a ridge right that is. I'm going to go ahead and glue this and then go. Sorry about that. I'm trying to catch it before I hit you guys. All right. I guess I'm going to be calling that company tomorrow. We've got issues and I can't figure it out. All right. So I'm putting the hat punch. And I'll go ahead and lay this down, and then hat. And okay, but it'd be a cute card. It's going to be a cute card. So we're going to lay that there. And you can, you can make this. If you have the hat punch, it's from years ago. If you have the hat punch, it'll make it's easy. It's a fun hat to use. And it doesn't have to be, well, it is a witch's hat. I guess it doesn't have a choice. I was going to say you don't have to use it as a witch's hat, but I think you do. But who knows? Somebody could probably come up with a better idea. All right, so I'm just going to put a dot of glue on this thing like that, which is probably too much. And I'm just going to spread out my stars. So I'm going to place one right here. And wherever you want to place them, it doesn't matter. So I'm just placing them in here. I'm trying to keep an eye on my camera over here to make sure we don't lose the picture again. I'm not sure. I'm wondering if it's my husband. I don't think it would have anything to do with it, but I'm wondering if it's on something to do with the internet, And I'm going to put this one down here. And then this one, they're all the same size, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I think this one's a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think this one's a little bit smaller. Let me get a little dot of glue in here. I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. I don't know. All right, and then we'll put this one right about there. Okay, so now we got our hat on there. All right, and then we have to cut out a kitty cat. So this is the retired punch that we came out with years ago. This was, I'm not even sure when it came out. I don't have the date on here. But we're just going to go ahead and place that kitty cat right in here. And, with a black cat, you've got a lot of things you can do with a black cat, right? So there's all sorts of things you can do with this kitty cat. All right, so we've got that, and we're going to move the punch out of the way because we don't need that anymore. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. So we're going to get that put on. So let's stamp. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm using the spooky fun, but I'm not going to ink up the word fun. So I'm just going to ink up the spooky part. Hang on. Everything's falling apart. All of a sudden, all this stuff wants to stick together. All right. So I know, I'm going to lean it this way so I can see since this is one nice thing about the photopolymer is you can see what you're doing, and there's enough of a space that I can lay this right here. See how it's getting the ink? Can you see that? So I'm able to get it all inked up without getting the F from the fun. So I'm going to do a little bit more ink on this, and that should be good enough. And I've already measured this out. So we're going to put that right about here. And there's our spooky. So there's our sentiment. All right, now we are going to take this. Now I'm going to glue this down, but I'm going to leave a little bit of space right here so I can tuck the little kitty cat's butt down in there. Okay, so I'm just going to leave a little bit of space with my adhesive so I can tuck her tail down in. And that way she can kind of, it's going to look like she's sitting on the spooky. All right, so I'm going to place that probably down here. Let me get the cat because I want to see, do I want the cat? No, we want his tail going this way. We want to have him come up, but I don't want him too much. So let me turn this over for just a minute. I'm going to close the card because I want to make sure that she doesn't, I'm going to call it a female cat, that she doesn't come over too much for the hat, but she could be looking at it and her tail's right on the edge. So I think I'm good. So let me pick up my sentiment. Hang on a minute. All right, and I think I can get her, yep, I can get that in there. And we're going to put that, so I'm just eyeballing again. I've got her positioned where I think I want her. So I know that my sentiment needs to go at least right about here and get that centered. All right, so we're going to put that down. And then I'm going to stick her in here. And I may put a little bit of glue on her as well. So we're just going to do the bottom part because I want her, yeah, I want her tail going that way. And just a little bit on her body. And then I'm just going to tuck her down in here and get her where I want her positioned. So I'm going to put her over a little bit and have her tail coming up. I think that looks good. And she's got her feet. Now this one, I've got it more covering her butt than I did the other one, but it's already down, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so there is the card. Is apply this once we get our this one here, and then we're right just like that. Our adhesive on here. Do I have that on the right one? Yeah, that's going to make it longer. This makes it shorter. Yeah, because we had to do the shorter one. Okay, just want to make sure I got it right. All right, so we're going to put our adhesive on here. Making sure we haven't lost any filming. All right, so we're going to take this, and I'm going to flip it over. Try not to get my fingers all sticky. And we're going to place it on the front of our black base. Now, isn't that cute? And my spooky's a little crooked, but that's okay. It's Halloween. It doesn't matter. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's spooky. And I should have brought some little black things, but I didn't. All right, so there is the front of our card. Okay, so there you go. And then we're going to take a piece of Very Vanilla, and we're going to come in and stamp the little stamp that has a moon and, no, I'm sorry, it's got a bat and a couple of stars, and I stamped that. Oh, well, you know what? I do have a seed one too. Hang on. I do have a half moon. I thought I pulled that one out. Hang on. We're going to do that one instead. I don't want this one. We're going to pull in the half moon. This is, look at how old this stamp set is. We're going to pull out the half moon. I was going to do the two bats, but this one's got bats on it as well. So let's see. Look at this. I don't even remember when this one came out. Holiday Invitation is what it's called. Okay, so we're going to do that one. We're going to stamp this with the, we're going to do the Secret C, but this one has the half moon and the bats. So we're going to stamp that right. Let's put it right here in this corner. Let's do it right there. And there we go. Or yeah, I guess that the moon can go that way, right? Depends on where you're looking at it from. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close this up, and let's add this to the inside of our card. And this again is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is very vanilla. All right, so we're going to place that right in here. There we go. Put our little cat, and you could use a silhouette if you wanted you could trace a cat from that too if you wanted to do that. All right, so there is our witch's hat, our spooky Halloween card. That's going to stand up, and there you go. Pretty easy, huh? Outside of me, I've got the, I probably should have brought the cat. Fine like that. I could have brought him down a little bit, but I should have moved the spooky over because it's covering up too much of the cat. Because I think this one looks a little bit bigger, better, because we can see I only covered his backside below the tail. I kind of covered more of it over here. So anyways, there's the first Halloween card. So there you go. That's a fun fold Halloween with the black cat and the witch's hat. Okay, so let's put these off to the side for just a moment. And we're going to use my favorite Humble Home. We're going to use that stamp set again. Give me just a minute. Let me take the ink off this stamp because we're going to need this one again. And I believe we're going to use it again. And we're going to do a dark nighttime. So let me bring in my stamps that we're going to be using. And we're going to be using the house from the Humble Home. We're going to use these two things right here. And we're going to make that a Halloween card. So I'm going to move this over here out of the way. Let me bring in the card and show you what it looks like. All right, so how are we doing out there? How's the connection in your craft area? Can't hubby swap for... Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Hey, Pamela, welcome. I'll add you to my newsletter. If you'll, yeah, I should be able to get your email off of Facebook. All right, so here's the second card we're going to make. I know, you'd think you could go for an hour, right? But that's okay. All right, so this one, I really like this house set, and I think I've mentioned that to y'all before. I really do like it, and then I thought, I could use that to make that like not a haunted house, but a house out in the woods with the Halloween. There's where I was using those bats. I knew I needed those bats for something, so I had them pulled out, and I knew I needed them. So I'm going to pull those back out because we need those little devils. All right, so we're going to go ahead and work on this card. And I'm going to put that right there so I don't forget it. And then the inside, I put the spooky fun in there. So there you go. All right, so let's pull out all of our goodies. Now, all of this, again, most of this stuff is retired. This stamp set, I think, is still available. And it's, I believe it's on sale for $12.50 if I'm not mistaken. All right, so this is, oh, let me think. Is this gray or let me think. Is this, I don't think this is, I think this is not basic gray, not smoky slate. What's the grayish brown? I can't even think of the name of it now, but it's in the gray family. And it's 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And then I've cut out a couple of trees from the, it's a retired beautiful trees, I think it is, or something like that. It's a stamp set from a couple of years ago. And we've got another moon. So we're going to lay that right there. And then what I did is I stamped the house, this part of the house, I stamped on a scrap because I wanted to get you probably can't see it, but I wanted to get these yellow windows. So I'm going to cut those, I'm going to fussy cut out those yellow windows to go next to our door. Okay. And then I cut a little piece out that's going to be our door. So those two I'm going to put here because we're going to use those in just a minute. I'm going to stamp my house and roof on here. And let's see. Then I've got, I'll give you the measurements in just a minute. I took a piece of scrap and I tried to make like a hill. You can see right here. I just cut a scrap to kind of make it look like a hill that was coming off around the house. I'll probably trim this up a little bit more, and then I put the house over that. Okay, that's what I did. I just tried to cut it, make it look like a field. Okay, all right. So we got our base at 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4.25. Hi, Nina Williams. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Now we just finished this first card. I'll go back and show you that one. And my boo-boos as usual, but you know, I do that purposefully so that y'all know it's okay to make mistakes. Not really. I just tend to make mistakes and it's okay. All right, so this is our card base. Now this piece here, we're gonna use for the background of our scene. So this piece I cut at 3.25 by 4.25. And the gray piece, I ran it through that, the swirl embossing folder. I think it's the one like the waves. I think it's the waves. And I thought that kind of looked, oops, there's a piece of, we need that. Hang on, let me pull that. He's one that came off the pack. We're going to use that for a doorknob. I've got a pack of those. But anyways, I just thought that would give it some texture on here. So I'm going to add that to the front. And actually, I'm going to turn that over because I don't like that thing holding. So we're going to do it like this. No, I don't like that. Let's do it this way. We'll put this down here so it's hidden. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our adhesive. Let me go ahead and get some adhesive. I got that done with my bone folder. I'm trying to buy lady just texted me from Marketplace. She's got this little table that I'm going to use since our stamp cases are going to be changing at the end of the year. I need to change out the way I package my stuff. And so I found this cute little, just a little table, 4 foot, about 4 feet long and 16 inches wide. I just need enough that I can put my stuff on in front of my, whatever. So she just texted me to tell me that I couldn't pick it up tonight. I told her it'd be tomorrow. And she said she had other people looking. So I said, well, just let me know. If they don't take it, then I'm interested. So anyways, okay. So now we're going to build, I'm going to put this off to the side for just a minute until we get this. I'm not sure if I like this big Humpty Dumpty thing here. I'm trying to make it look like a hill, but I think that's a little much. And I'm going to cut this end off. So I think I'm going to come back. So all I was doing was just trying to cut to make it look like to kind of give it the feel of like a hill out in the yard, okay, or out in the woods or whatever. So I'm just going to trim this off just a little bit. And I just came around, I was just freehanding this, and then I'm going to trim this side off over here on the end because it's going to be too long, which is fine. I'd rather have it too long than not long enough. I think this will be fine. I think once I get it on here, I'll trim this down. I don't think I want that point. So let's just trim him off. And no one's really going to look at this. So I'm going to butt this all the way up, and I'm going to bring it down. If you can see, I'm going to bring it down to the edge of my black cardstock. So we're going to glue this down, and then I'll trim this piece off once we get done. So let me put my liquid glue on here. Whoops, this thing is brand new. So now it's going to come out like a river. All right, so let's get this on here. And then once I get it on here, I can move it just before it gets really hard. Let me see. You push that down. Yeah, I think that would be fine. That's going to work. And then I'm just going to come in and just trim this little tiny piece off right here so it doesn't hang off. Okay. All right. Hopefully that's going to work. And we're going to put our trees. I'm going to leave a little bit of room right here so I can tuck my trees under. And I think I'm going to go ahead. Well, first of all, we have to do our circle before we do that. So let's go ahead and stamp our Happy Halloween. And let's stamp our bats in the belfry. All right, I'm actually going to use the black for a change. Can you believe it? I'm going to use the Memento Black. So we're going to stamp. Actually, before I stamp that, let's do our bats. Let me find my bats here. We don't want this one. All right, we've got bats. Now, this isn't old. If you're just joining me, this is a retired set that I've had forever and a day. So I'm pulling out all of the stuff from the archives. All right, so I'm going to stamp a bat on this side. And then I'm going to stamp one over here. So they got stars up above them, and then the bats are flying around. Okay. Now we're going to turn this, and then we're going to stamp our Happy Halloween, and I'm going to place this right below here. We might have to flip this thing over because it looks kind of crooked to me. But I guess it's fine. It doesn't matter if the bats, they're not really centered, are they? I think we should center them. Let's flip it over. Let's do this. Let's stamp the Halloween first. I'm going to stamp that right about here. Okay, now let's do our bats because I didn't like that. All right, so let's do this way. I can stamp them and we can have our bats over and have it more centered. What do you think? There we go. I think that's better. All right. I hear my little dog out there clicking. I hear her little nails clicking. Clickety, clickety. Okay. All right. So now we'll go ahead and glue this down, and then we can start building the trees in the background, and then I'll stamp the house, and we'll get all that put together. Okay. Well, I told you I thought we might be done early, but I don't think that's going to be the case. All right. So I'm just going to put this up here towards the top. No right or wrong, no reason. I'm just doing it. And this is a smaller circle, and you can use whatever circles you want. This is a 2.5 inch, looks like 2.5 inch circle, 2 3/8 it looks like. All right, and then the trees are from a retired set. So we're gonna go ahead and these are gonna get laid down. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this one down first. And I'm wondering if maybe, yeah, I'm going to do this one first. I'm going to tuck it under this little hill. And we're going to have him right like that. Now, he's hanging over, but we're going to put him on the card, which that'll be fine. Now, the second one, I'm going to go ahead and let me stamp the house. And then I'm going to fussy cut it. And then we'll determine what we want, where we want that tree to go. So that way I can place it before I do that. Okay, so let me ink this up. This is secret C again, because you know me, I got to have my C. All right, so we're going to stamp that right there. And then I'm going to stamp this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim and have it have a little bit of a white border around. Let's do it down here. So it kind of looks like it's got gutters on it. So if you see this one, how I've got the white, I'm going to leave a little bit of a white going around. Okay. All right. So let's move that out of the way and get the stamps out of the way. All right. So I'm going to fussy cut. So let me go ahead and fussy cut the roof or the eave, whatever you call this thing. The eaves, I guess, right? Hang on, let me get in here and cut before I don't cut my fingers. All right, so I'm just gonna, now this set is on the last chance list. I'm not sure if it's still available or not. The punch is no longer available. Otherwise, I would be punching that, but I don't have it. And now I'm gonna have to cut into here a little bit because I wanna have that white border. Now, I may come back and now I'm gonna come down and trim it a little bit more. And this one I'll come down and pull that out because I just thought the white border looks nice. Let me just pull that out. There we go. And then I'm just going to, and it makes it easy because it's a straight line, right? Except for when you get to right here. So we're just going to cut a little bit there. And then I'm going to cut up. This makes it easy fussy cutting this way, doesn't it? And then I'm going to trim a little bit. So I have some white down here. Get that out of the way. And then I'll just come up here and leave enough of the white so that we can see that as well. And then we can, let me get that little bit, just need a little snippy do. I don't want to pull it because my luck, it would tear and then it would look like poo-poo. All right, there we go. So let me get all this mess out of the way here. And then we'll cut out the house and then we'll build our house and put our doors and windows on it. So the house, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to leave a little bit of white going all the way around. So, all right, how are we doing? Oh, good, Linda. I'm glad you liked the first card. Even though I messed up by scoring it wrong. But you know what? No one's going to see it because we glued it down, right? That's how I look at things. I always try to find the positive because we all make mistakes. You know what? Plus, it's going to make it extra special because because we made it and I make it with mistakes and no one's going to know the difference. Okay, there we go. So that's good. So we got that. Set this off to the side. All right, so now we're going to build our house, and let me get my craft mat out here, so because we'll have to get some glue. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. There's my door. I got to cut my little windows out. So if you're just joining, I stamped this in early espresso, and then I'm cutting out these little tiny windows because I was putting a piece of just the yellow paper and it looked really stupid. So I thought, well, I'm just going to stamp and just try to trim out these windows. It's not going to be that hard to do. So let me just cut these apart, and then let me trim these out. And then we have actual windows, and yeah, they're in yellow, but it's okay. You know what? No one's going to be judging the card. So we're just going to snip. I'm just going to get as close to the window frame as I can, and I'm just cutting down. I'm not worrying about cutting in front of the windowsills or around the windowsills. I'm just going to snip them apart and get these little tiny windows. So we have windows out in our house. All right, so that's going to be our one window, and then this should be my other window. Yep. So we're going to trim that here. I know you got to just, and normally, to be honest with you guys, normally I'm not this creative, but when I started making this card, I thought, oh, I got to have windows. And so I thought that was a good way to do it. So that wasn't that bad. All right, so let's get all these little pieces out of the way. I like to have a clean table when I'm working because I don't want to pick something up that doesn't belong. Okay, now we're going to glue this guy down. So we're going to have him, and we're going to pop the house up once we get it put together. So let me get this down here. So I'm going to put, now this piece right here, hang on one second. This part, I hear my dog walking outside the door. It's so funny. I hear little toenails. This little piece right here just needs to be trimmed just a tad because it's a little crooked. Then it's making it look crooked. Okay, there we go. All right, so this we're going to put right over top like that. I'm going to have it barely hanging on the top of the roof. So we're going to put some adhesive. I probably should put use the seal, but that's okay. We'll do it this way. And I'm going to hold on to the fireplace. All right, so I'm going to add this right about there. It's going to be on the house a little bit, but let's see. I think we can pull it up just a smidge. So let's see if we can pull it up just a little bit. I think this will be good. There we go. Yeah, we don't want to go any higher. Okay, so there's our house. All right, now we're going to add our door. This is our door right here. It's just a little tiny rectangle that I cut. It's a wide door, just because we could. All right, hang on. I think I picked up. Oh, I did. I picked up the wrong glue. Hold on. All right. I told y'all I thought we would be done. Well, we're going to be close. We might be a few minutes after, but that's all right. Hold on. We got glue. We don't want to get glue all over. All right. So we're going to put our door. I'm going to bring it down. No, I think I better do it like this. All right. So I think that should be somewhat centered for the door. It's a big door because there's a lot of big people that live in there. They're tall. All right, and then this is our window. So we're just going to put a little dot on here. Whoops. So when you open up a new Tombow, and we're going to put that little window right next to the door. Isn't that clever? Look at that. Oh, smart. Okay, and then we're going to do, actually, we'll be done here in a few minutes anyways. Hang on. I keep pulling the wrong glue out. I keep pulling the one out of my other thing. Here we go. All right, so we have a window there. Now this window doesn't look quite as straight, but it's okay. It's supposed to be haunted, right? But it's a house. All right, so we have that. Yay. All right, now we are going to, we're going to add a doorknob, but we'll do that last. We're going to pop our house up on Dimensionals. So let me grab Whoopsie, the dimensionals. Here we go. We got a stack of them right here. Let me cut them up. Those are the baby ones. I don't think we want those. So make sure you use your dimensional edges because you don't want to throw these away, right? They all work. So we're going to put dimensionals on the back. We want our house to be popped up. And so I'm going to attach that with on top of the eave of the roof. Whoopsie. And then we're going to put, we'll put one down at the bottom. I think that's probably all we need. Well, let's put one over here. Hang on. Let's move this guy. We'll put one here. It's probably overkill for this little tiny house, but that's all right. We're going to do it. Okay, so let's peel all this off and get him down. And plus, I'm going to be gone in October for 9 days because we're going to Virginia to visit family and friends. And so I'm going to have to get stuff recorded for you guys for that week that I'm gone. Okay. Whoopsie. All right. So now we're going to place our house on this little thing here. Let's move this out of the way. All right. So we're going to place the house right about now. I want to get my other tree in here. So this is what I want to do before I put it down here. I want this tree to go down. I want it to be lower. Hang on. Let me take this off for a second. It's on my finger. And I can trim this down because we're not going to see this. So I think I want this just like I did before, have it a little bit low like that. So I'm going to line this up with the Y and the happy. So let me get this on here. And then I'm going to trim off. And it really doesn't matter because we're not going to see much of it. But we're going to trim off that much. Let me get, I hear my dog out there clicking. She wants to come in. She's going to have to wait. All right. I did it again, you guys. I keep grabbing the wrong glue because it's in my spot that I normally use. Okay. All right, so let's get him, Mr. Tree, and we're going to put him right here under that Y, and we're going to have him a little bit lower. All right, so we're going to put that like that. All right, and now we're going to pop this guy up. He's going to be over that, so I can put the house right here so it looks like he's kind of in the gully. So I'm going to come down and just place my house right there. Isn't that cute? Okay, now we're going to add the doorknob, so don't worry. We're going to get there. All right, so we are going to now add this to our base card. All right, so we're going to attach this with adhesive. We're not going to pop it up because we've already got stuff on the front, so we don't want to add any more dimension to it. And all right, so we're going to lay this right about here. Isn't this cute card? So this is just another way you can use up different things you have laying around. All right, let me make sure I got it straight. Okay, so there's that. Now these are old metallic pearls, and I've kept these because you never know when you're going to need them. Well, look at this. We're going to make a doorknob right there with that little pearl. Look at that. Move it down just a little bit. That looks like a little bit of a high doorknob. Let's move it down. There we go. There's our doorknob. Okay, that's the front of the card. So now we've got to stamp the inside of our card. Whoops, what did I do with my, hold on. Oh, it's over here. And we're going to stamp that spooky fun stamp, which is retired as well. So let me grab him real quick and then we'll be done. And then I'll bring in the other card so that y'all can see that one if you didn't get a chance to see it. So give me just a minute. These were scraps. I'm not sure why I brought those in here, but I did. So we'll just put those in the trash can. All right. So spooky fun. Whoopsie. Let's do it this way. We're going to stamp that. Get them all inked up. And we'll just put some spooky fun right on the inside. I'm going to put it right at the top of our paper. And if you want to put some of the, oh, I got stuff stuck to me. If you want to put some of the bats inside, you can. I'm just going to leave it like that. And we'll add that to the inside. Whoopsie. Okay, so, all right, here we go. And I believe last week when I sent out my, I know y'all thought I probably was crazy. I sent out, oh, that's the other one. I sent out things saying we're going to do Fundamental Friday, and it was really Creation Sketch Day Saturday. So anyways, this Friday is our Fundamental Friday is our technique day. So 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Come one, come all. Okay, there is our spooky house. What do you think about that? Isn't that cute? Just think about what you have in your stash and how you can use it to make like a Halloween thing if you don't have any Halloween decorations. And let me pull in the other card. This is the one this is the one we made this evening. And I put the cat, I like this one better. So as you can see, I've got the cat's butt is just barely covered where I covered almost his entire half end. So anyways, and this is a fun fold. So it's a card within, so it stands up like that. You can see, you're just joining, that's how it looks. Okay, it's kind of like your W whatever shape. Okay, everybody, there is our cards that we made this evening using some retired sets, some current sets, and just tried to make some Halloween cards that were a little different without using an actual, I don't like this one. I'm going to pull this one in. Okay, there you go. So if you will, before you sign off, let me know which one of the cards that you liked. If you liked them both, then you can put both. If you liked one more than the other, then this would be one, because this was the first one we did. This would be number 2. And I think it will be fun to see what everybody says. And we'll just see what the poll is. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. Thank you again. Oh, you do have both punches. Perfect. So thank you again for spending Tuesday evening with me. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you share the videos, if you don't mind, with your other crafty friends. And if you're watching me on YouTube and it's your first time here, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you get notified each time I open or upload a new video. So Friday, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is Technique Friday. And in the meantime, I will get out the newsletter information for those that are interested. If you haven't signed up, please leave me a note, message or whatever, and I'll get you lined up because I will be doing 12 weeks of Christmas. All right, everyone. Thanks again. I greatly appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye now. Thank you.